Well, my nice weather's kind of gone away, disappeared and been replaced with dreary and rain. But that's not going to stop me from coming in here and working on things. Not this. This will be in another video when I actually finally finish it. But this, I mentioned it in my the video of the XPi, P133STs. This is a machine I picked up off of eBay. It actually came from the UK, and that was a pain in the rear end. Let me tell you about that. It cost, I don't remember, the cost was, I think, high enough that they wanted input charges on it. And I mean, that makes sense. It was like a little bit of whatever. And that might not have even been them. That might have just been UPS wanting their cut of the deal. I don't think it was really that much. But the problem, because we live in California virus times, and I gotta call it that, I can't call it the real thing, otherwise Susan will come by and take my money. But in the times we live in now, they're not doing collect on demand charges anymore. Sorry, collect on delivery, that's what it's called. ICOD. Actually, I'm not going to plug that in yet. Wait for a little while. But so trying to get that to work was a pain because their website kept telling me that there was a problem and then I need to call them. Well, I call them up, spend about half an hour on hold, get somebody who really doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, who says, well, there's nothing wrong, you should just try it again, nothing happens, try it again in an hour, nothing happens. Meanwhile, I wasted about 2 days here, so this thing had been sitting in limbo for 2 days, and, I want the thing that I paid for, right? Yeah. So eventually, I figured out that the solution was to go to a Windows 10 computer, load up Microsoft Edge, and run UPS's website from there. It wouldn't work any other way. So, don't know what's up with that, but UPS, you need to fix your website because it's broken. Anyway, so that was a pain. Got that delivered. That was, basically when the virus began. So that was a long time ago now, and I'm only just now getting around to this because of varying issues that we will not discuss now. But what this is it is a Dell Latitude XPi CD. Model, I think the model is M166ST, if I remember correctly. And I've got something trying to fly and eat me over here. Let's see. Yeah, we got, focus on that. Everything looks the same. For use with PA1, that was important. I thought it said on the bottom of it what it actually was. Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. Latitude XPi CD M166ST. Which means that it's got a Pentium 166 CPU in it. I want autofocus, thank you very much. There's a service tag. Again, we got a mosquito that's trying to get at me. I don't know why it's in here. A 5-digit service tag. For God's sakes, you... Anyway, back to reality here. So this machine I picked up on... Well, actually, first I got the XPi, the first XPi, which is sitting right there. And it didn't come with a power supply, so I was looking for a power supply. Well, apparently these are really hard to find, these Dell PA1 adapters. So I started looking for systems that came with power supplies. Now, it didn't explicitly say that it came with the power supply on this. In fact, I should have looked at the listing a lot more closely than I did. But the pictures showed a power supply, so I thought, great, I've got my solution right here. I don't care about the laptop, I want the power supply. Well, lo and behold, it shows up and there's no power supply, so yeah, that one's on me. Anyway, doesn't have the cover over this, and I don't have an extra cover, and I don't think I'm going to go find one because it's a pain in the butt to find things for these systems in the first place and expensive. So, good luck with that. Well, okay, to be fair, the extra palm rest assembly, which is actually meant for one of these, as opposed to the one that I got, because you can see it's got the MMX logo, whereas the XPIs were not MMX systems, they predated that. But anyway, so that thing, no, 133 was released as an MMX CPU, I thought, but anyway, it doesn't matter, ultimately. I don't think, yeah, they don't have MMX. So, regardless, that thing wasn't that expensive, but trying to find other parts, you basically have to find entire systems and cannibalize them. But anyway, and they're not very common to start with. So basically the overview is it's almost the same thing. It's a little chunkier than the XPi, for obvious reasons. I mean, it's got the compact disc. Okay, so you can get an idea, roughly, about thickness-wise, the differences between the machines. It looks like the rubber feet, well, the keyboard stand-up feet, are actually taller on the XPi CD as well. I didn't notice that until now. But the layout's pretty much the same. I mean, the difference is that on this side you have audio connections, but the hard drive is the same. You still get 2 Type 2, 1 Type 3 PCMCIA. I don't know what that is, maybe a cooling fan port, because this does not actually have any ventilation. I guess they didn't think that it needed it. And they're not necessarily wrong. Those don't get hot in operation, from what I can remember. I mean, they get hot, but they don't get dangerously hot or anything like that. The back of the machine is pretty much the same, and this isn't going to stand up because it's not really flat. Still the same power adapter, docking station. I don't... Oh yeah, it does. Okay. VGA, PS2, combination for keyboard and mouse, serial parallel. On this side, it's a little different again, and I'm still trying to break things in here. You have the battery. I guess that's another port. Maybe that's for a speaker. I don't know, because I know that this actually does have speakers on it. And the front looks like another infrared and CD and the floppy, which is again arranged a little bit differently. I haven't tried disassembling this, so I don't know all the difference, but you will also note that this has a red little thing there, and the XPi is purple. The difference might not actually show up on camera, but trust me, it's different. So we'll go ahead and we'll open this, and you'll see, I think the keyboard might be slightly different too. Let me open up this one, because maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't think so. It should be the same. I can actually get it open without breaking everything. The hinges are stiff. Yeah, the keyboard is different. I just broke that laptop. Alright. I need a better work setup in here. So, interestingly enough, the keyboard is different. I did not expect that. I don't know why it's different. And I really think that the layout on this one is stupid, so I may just swap the keyboard between the two. If they're compatible, I may just do that, because I don't see any difference between anything on these keyboards. I mean, my guess would have been maybe that this would have had, alternative, things for the CD-ROM drive, but it doesn't seem to. So that's strange. But again, you can see Pentium MMX, designed for Windows 95. It's got the trackball. And I don't think the battery is any good. I think the display is a little bigger as well. Not by much, certainly. You can see there, you get an idea as to what it looks like. There's really not that much of a difference, but the bezel is definitely smaller on this, so I guess you get a bigger screen. Like I said, I don't think the battery is any good. The battery is toast, so we can go ahead and plug it in. Again, using our special PA1 adapter, which apparently is rather difficult to find. Now, let's see. Plugs in on the left side. I'm used to working with the PowerBooks, where it plugs in on the right, and also the Zenith. The Zenith machines did that too. A lot of machines do that. They all do it their own way. I have some Toshibas that plug in the middle for some reason. Alright, try and plug that in. Not an orange light, for power at least. Fire it up. See, again, we got the same video chipsets, 128ZV. Although, funny enough, it's only got 48K of video memory. That's kind of strange for a 128. You would think it's got 128. But either way, 16 megabytes of memory. There's no additional memory installed. Battery is critically low. Well, that makes sense because it's dead. And of course, we got invalid configuration information. Wow. Now, is that ever year 2000 compliant? Look at that. These machines are Y2K compliant, insofar as I know. But I think it's supposed to default to 1999. And I know this one defaults to 97. That's odd. Oh, it's ended up in 2099. Oh, that might be telling. Anyway, it's got a roughly 3 GB hard drive installed. You got your 3.5-inch floppy. Everything seems to be just fine. COM3 front. So let's see. I don't think you can enable both COM ports. So I think you could change, yeah, front and back. So you can do it that way. But it doesn't really matter. You still only got 2 pages of options. As I remember it, the next page is just all the power management stuff. So this machine is designed for Microsoft Windows 95. And with 16 megabytes of memory, you think that that's more than enough for what it's running. Well, it's not running Windows 95. I can already tell you that much. It's running Windows 98. Some brave soul put 98 on 16 megabytes of memory. I've never let it boot up all the way, so it could do something interesting. I don't know why you'd put Windows 98 with only 16 megabytes of memory. So let's see, my glasses are fogging up. Okay, well, it logged in. This came from the UK, so it's got some probably potentially interesting things on it. I don't even know what wanna do is. Never heard of that before. It looks like either we're running with the high color icons or somebody upgraded Internet Explorer, so that's good. Of course, it's thrashing the hard drive because, well, it's Windows 98 on 16 megs of RAM. Not a good proposition at all. Yeah, look at this. Look at this mess. Let's try and bring up the start menu. Wow. I've never seen it this bad. I don't remember what the minimum for Windows 98 was. But considering that Windows 98 loads Internet Explorer into memory, you probably want like at least 64 megabytes, if not 128. With its Internet Explorer enhanced shell, if you can really call it that. Enhanced with nonsense, if you want my honest opinion about it. But that's definitely a very controversial thing. So we'll do a little discussion about it. It looks like it's got Office 97. It's got Fart Page Express on it. I don't know what this wanna do thing is. Reinstall. I might actually check it out. Wow. That's really funny. Okay. I'll try to right click if it'll actually let me do that. 200 years later. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with this. Format it, install Windows 95, although I'm probably not going to end up keeping the machine, since I have no use for it. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I got so many Windows 95 machines now. So many Windows 98 machines. I hate Windows 98. So, I guess we know who used the machine now. 16 megs of RAM with MMX. Alright, so we go to the device manager, see what's going on in there. If we can. CD-ROM. Tori-san. I haven't heard that before. I assume it's probably reputable. Of course, it doesn't tell us what the drives are. It does have the proper Neo-Magic driver. Standard serial mouse is not showing up. Infrared plug-and-play. Sure. 800 by 600 maximum resolution on the display. I would have thought it would be bigger than that. But, for the size of it, maybe not so much. What kind of audio do we have? ESS audio drive. Cool, that was a good choice. So we'll get out of that. See if there's any documents left behind. Oh boy. So I wonder if it would still work if I move this out of the way. Yeah, it's some of that Windows 9X reliability right there. And again, yeah, I think it's gone. Yeah. What happened? Invalid instruction in nice. Alright, well, that's great. So that's going to just take out the whole Explorer. And I don't know, a lot of people seem to think that Windows 98, and especially 98 Second Edition, was a lot better at doing things, and you didn't get as many of those problems. I have exactly the opposite experience. Windows 95, while it was still pretty bad, it was nowhere near as bad as Windows 98 was. And it was also nowhere near as bad. 98 First Edition was nowhere near as bad for me as Windows 98 SE was. But of course, they had different problems. They all had their issues. Windows 95 was plagued with hardware support problems, especially in its later years. And Windows 98 was just really drastically unreliable, mostly because of its Internet Explorer integration. But again, that's my experience, and that's definitely a very opinionated realm. So I don't know what else I can really do here. I wanted to check out WannaDo. And of course, I've now clicked on something, and it's going to take 400 years to do whatever it needs to do. I don't want that. Go away. So what is this? I guess is it some kind of online connection thing? I guess we'll find out. If it'll ever load. Internet Explorer provided by WannaDo. So maybe it's a business. Should probably look it up. I'll put more information in the video description. Now, it's to dial up into something. Work offline, so it's not going to work. Because I don't have a dial-up adapter here. And I don't really have any way to do it anyway. So it's taken this long to tell me that it can't find the page. I think I just crashed Internet Explorer. No, just stay offline. It's not going to matter. I don't want to put this thing on my network anyway. It's probably littered with malware. So this is fun. Just the kind of exciting things you can get to. What on earth? Well, that's neat. Looks like a cached page of Yahoo from back in who knows when. Wow. Might be able to date it by those news articles. If you can happen to read any of them by the time YouTube compression gets done with it. So, hopefully I'm not showing anything too private. What version of IE is this? My guess is Internet Explorer 5, maybe 5.5 at best. That could be IE4, though. Come on. Holy crap. How could somebody use a 6.0? Okay. The more you know. Alright. So we'll get out of that. And I'm going to just shut this down. I'm not going to torture myself with this anymore. And I'm not going to torture you with it. So, plan probably either to upgrade the RAM and leave Windows 98 on it. I'm obviously going to just reload the whole thing. I don't know. This might end up... Actually, I might end up putting something ridiculous on this. Experiment with something that's not Windows. I really don't know. And most of the alternative Windows shell, or the alternatives to Windows that I can think of, are OS2 and things like that. And I'd rather put that on a genuine IBM machine. And I've got one sitting over there that will be getting a video eventually. There's a lot of things in here. I need to deal with that pile of crap. Sell those laptops. and just generally clean it up. It was all out in the shed, and of course I've moved everything in the shed because I got other things that need to go in there anyway. It's just a big mess. So, anyway, that's this machine. I don't want to waffle on about too much stuff. So, look at this. It hasn't even updated the taskbar yet. I might just shut the whole thing. Yep, I think it just rammed one end of itself straight into the other. Look at this. Come on, I want the start menu. Yep, sure did. Alright, well, we'll issue, let's see if I can get this to stand up somewhere. Control-Alt-Delete. Control-Alt-Delete. I'll just reboot the machine. Or not. There we go. Thank you for telling me. So, yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to let it get all the way through it. If it trashes the install, it trashes the install. I'm not keeping it anyway. So, that's it. Thank you for watching. You got any comments? Leave them below.